Liv Morgan and Bray Wyatt's Wyatt 6. Ric Flair challenges Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. Sasha Banks spotted back in the ring. Logan Paul manipulates Roman Reigns. Bray Wyatt disliked backstage. Bray Wyatt sends a threat. Let's jump right in. Ric Flair challenges Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair shocked the world when he returned to the ring earlier this year for a star-studded tag team match. Amid talks about his wrestling future, he recently joked about facing Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. Banks was last seen on the company's programming in May 2022 when she held the Women's Tag Team Championship with Naomi. The duo walked out of the company several months ago due to alleged creative differences with the management. Meanwhile, the Nature Boy made headlines when he teamed up with Andre Del Idolo to take on Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal on July 31, 2022. Speaking to TMZ, Flair joked about having a match with Sasha Banks at the Show of Shows. "I'm thinking about wrestling Sasha Banks. Maybe we'll go up against each other at WrestleMania." Flair also provided an update on his in-ring future. "I don't know. I don't want to say, I've already promised. Right now I'm not doing anything. But never say never, right?" Several reports have suggested Banks' potential return to the Stanford-based promotion. However, there has been no concrete update about her wrestling future. In December 2017, Sarah FKA Paige sustained a severe injury which led to her retirement from the Squared Circle. After appearing in various non-wrestling roles on WWE TV, she joined AEW in September 2022. She has since been cleared to wrestle again, per a recent report. Speaking to Chris Jericho on the Talk is Jericho podcast, Sarah detailed the events of her final wrestling match, including Bayley and Sasha Banks. She noted that her opponents were in tears after she injured her neck and was paralyzed for a brief period. "My neck just friggin' snapped back like I was in a car crash. And then I was like paralyzed for like a couple of minutes, which is the most terrifying thing. I just remember laying there, and then I didn't cry, but I knew instantly I was just like, this is it, like I'm done. Like, I'm toast, right? I look over and I see Sasha, Bayley, and there's Mickie James and everyone. They were just crying. I look at Mandy and Sonya, and they were crying," she said. Fortunately, Paige is doing better and has recently been involved in numerous brawls against Britt Baker. It will be interesting to see if she potentially returns to the ring again. Do you want to see Paige, Sasha Banks, and Naomi return to WWE? Sound off in the comments section below. Sasha Banks spotted back in the ring. Ever since her WWE walkout alongside Naomi earlier this year, Sasha Banks has been involved in multiple ventures. From meet and greets to multiple public appearances, Banks has kept herself away from the Squared Circle until now. Banks seemingly paid a visit to Lucha Libre Barcelona, a wrestling school in Spain, to train with some of its members. The Academy's Instagram page posted the following picture with the caption, "Thank you so much for the visit, Mercedes Varnado." Banks' recent run saw her tag alongside Naomi as one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. The two had a decent reign until they faced some booking issues. On the May 16th episode of WWE Raw, Banks and Naomi walked out of the show, leaving the titles on John Laurinaitis' desk, who, at the time, was the head of talent relations. On the next episode of SmackDown, WWE officially condemned the former champion's actions via a message from Michael Cole. "Sasha Banks and Naomi let us all down." The WWE Women's Tag Team Champions walked off the show and walked out of the building during Monday Night Raw. They were supposed to take part in the six-pack challenge where the winner would be next in line to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. However, Sasha and Naomi took the tag team championships into the office of our head of talent relations, left them there and then promptly walked out of the arena. Banks and Naomi are yet to compete again, but recent rumors suggest that it's likely that the two will end up back with WWE. It has been over 5 months since they last stepped inside the ring. It remains to be seen what Banks and Naomi will do next. Logan Paul manipulates Roman Reigns. Logan Paul believes he baited Roman Reigns to give him a match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. The foundations for the pair's match at Crown Jewel were laid last month when the Tribal Chief appeared on Logan's Implosive podcast. Reigns accused Paul of talking trash after he was on the show, which led to the latter showing up on SmackDown where he was confronted by the Bloodline. The match between the two was later made official by Triple H at a press conference for Crown Jewel. Logan Paul recently spoke to Alex McCarthy of Inside the Ropes, where he discussed facing the head of the table in the third match of his WWE career. "I'm having a hard time understanding how I got here. I think it falls in line with the way I attack every industry I go into," said Paul. "Like in my head, I'm like, why would I not just go for the top immediately? I don't have much patience. I was a social media kid. Instant gratification is what I'm used to. I could do all the other stuff and go through the ranks and wrestle little by little and make my way up there, but I prefer dropping the explosion as soon as I enter." So yeah, called out Roman Reigns, pretty much baited him into a match. It worked. Here we are, November 5th, taking on Roman Reigns for the title at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. It's insane. Roman Reigns is one of the best wrestlers of the current generation and a future Hall of Famer. He is the face of WWE and has held the Universal Championship for over 750 days. While he currently holds both world titles in the company, the SmackDown star's schedule is lighter than ever. The Tribal Chief was last seen in action at Clash at the Castle, where he defeated Drew McIntyre to retain his coveted title. Solo Sikoa also made his main roster debut that night, helping his cousin in the main event. While Logan Paul has fared well in both his WWE matches, very few expect him to beat the head of the table at Crown Jewel. However, given the uniqueness of the match, it has gained a lot of media interest over time. Bray Wyatt disliked backstage. A long-awaited WWE return has made Bray Wyatt the most trending name in pro wrestling, and rightfully so. Kurt Angle also recently opened up about Wyatt's comeback on his podcast, where he was asked about his off-screen relationship with the returning star. Despite being part of the same WWE roster a few years back, Kurt Angle admitted that he didn't spend a lot of time with Bray Wyatt behind the scenes. Aside from sharing the usual pleasantries, Angle sadly didn't have any memorable backstage stories featuring Wyatt, as they weren't all that close outside the ring. Here's what the WWE Hall of Famer revealed on this week's episode of The Kurt Angle Show. Well, I'll tell you this. I didn't know Bray that well. I mean, I knew him, I would say hi to him and how are you doing and everything like that, but I really didn't hang out with him. So, I don't have any great stories about Bray Wyatt, said the former WWE champion. Kurt Angle, however, was thrilled to see Bray back in the WWE as he felt it would benefit both the talent and the company in the long run, but I'm really happy that he came back at Extreme Rules, Angle added. He is going to be there in 2022, and it's a great thing for him and a great thing for the company. I think they're both going to benefit from it. Bray Wyatt's latest SmackDown appearance continued WWE's patient approach with the superstar from a creative standpoint. The 35-year-old star made an honest confession in a backstage promo and warned fans that he would do horrible things during his second stint in the company. All roads seemingly lead to the introduction of Wyatt 6, a rumored faction led by Wyatt that could potentially feature some new faces. The dirt sheets have already revealed 2 exciting names for the group. It will be interesting to see how Triple H and his writers gradually peel off the layers of Wyatt's mysterious storyline. Are you a fan of how WWE has presented Wyatt since his return? Sound off in the comments section below. Bray Wyatt sends a threat. Bray Wyatt made an interesting change to his Twitter bio shortly after the latest edition of WWE SmackDown. Bray Wyatt is currently one of the hottest entities in the pro wrestling world following his big return at Extreme Rules 2022. The Eater of Worlds is now a SmackDown exclusive superstar, and fans are quite excited to see what he has in store for them in the coming weeks. On the last SmackDown, Wyatt made a confession and teased doing horrible things to them in a cryptic message. He took to Twitter shortly after and made a change to his bio. Wyatt's Twitter bio now features a cryptic question. So where were the spiders while the fly tried to break our bones? While it's not clear what Wyatt is implying here, the origin of his new Twitter bio has been revealed. Several fans on Twitter and Reddit pointed out that Wyatt's question is a line from a David Bowie song called Ziggy Stardust. For those who missed Wyatt's promo on last night's SmackDown, here's an excerpt from his confession. So here it goes. I confess that I have problems. I know I've always had problems. It's not hard for people to see. But there's a few of them, like anger, that can sometimes take me to places where I don't want to be. And this path took me to a place that I shouldn't have come back from. For whatever reason, I get chances that most people won't get. I confess, at this time, that I was happy being left alone. I was okay with nobody saying my name. I wanted you to leave me the hell alone. But I confess that I'm really glad you did because I needed it. Wyatt's cryptic promo, followed by his new bio, might be hinting at something that fans haven't decoded yet. The Eater of Worlds is bound to play a major role on WWE TV in the coming months, and it remains to be seen who will become his first target on the blue brand. What do you make of Bray Wyatt's new Twitter bio? Sound off in the comments below. Liv Morgan and Bray Wyatt's Wyatt 6. The WWE Universe appears to be obsessed with the idea that Liv Morgan is seemingly connected to Bray Wyatt. Morgan has undergone quite a character change since losing her SmackDown Women's Championship to Ronda Rousey at WWE's Extreme Rules event. Rather than looking to reclaim her title, the former champion has changed her persona and appears to have snapped after the recent setback. This is a timely change for Morgan, who could now be linked to Bray Wyatt's return as the star continues to build his own stable. Interestingly, this isn't the first time that the WWE Universe has been convinced that Liv Morgan is connected to Bray Wyatt. During Wyatt's feud with The Miz in 2020, a new doll was added to the Firefly Funhouse. As a result, fans were convinced that this was Liv Morgan's fresh character. The doll later disappeared without Morgan being added to the storyline. But it's feasible that Wyatt could have gotten to Morgan this time around since her recent character change is in line with the former WWE champion's return to the company. Many fans have likened Morgan's new gimmick to being in line with Harley Quinn, a character that Alexa Bliss connected to in her early years on the main roster. Bliss went on to join Wyatt, and it could be the same storyline arc for Morgan if Wyatt is looking to explore her actual potential. Morgan has clearly lost any sort of desire to go after the SmackDown Women's Championship and instead wants to hurt her opponents as much as possible. This development is also in line with Wyatt's hurt heel mantra that The Fiend once followed. Liv Morgan attacked Sonya Deville backstage and then further assaulted the former official following their match on this week's SmackDown. As part of the backstage beatdown, there were several clues, including Wyatt's new logo in the background and a hooded figure seemingly looking at the symbol. Many fans have seen this as a tease that Morgan will potentially go on to join Wyatt in the future. While it doesn't appear to matter in WWE at the moment, Liv Morgan and Bray Wyatt are both on the SmackDown brand. This means that it is more likely that Wyatt has recruited her instead of Alexa Bliss, who is currently assigned to Raw. Wyatt appears to be sticking with the blue brand for the foreseeable future, and more members of his stable are expected to be introduced in the coming weeks. Hence, this could lead to Morgan's official inclusion in the mysterious faction. Liv Morgan was the SmackDown Women's Champion heading into Extreme Rules, and it was the most important thing in her life back then. Since her loss to Ronda Rousey, she doesn't appear to care about the title anymore. Instead, her new focus is ensuring that she inflicts pain on her opponents. Meanwhile, Bray Wyatt's recent promo noted that, "I am going to do horrible things. But I will never feel sorry for them. I'm just a servant now. I go where the circle takes me." Could Liv Morgan be one of those horrible things and now be a servant to the same person? Only time will tell. Do you think Liv Morgan is connected to Bray Wyatt? Have your say in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm